What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Profit Picks with my guy Five Star in Vegas, and always good to be here with you. I know we got to hang a little bit last night, and always enjoy hanging with you, breaking the games down with you, whatever it may be. So, how's everything been with you? It's been a little while since we talked on the show.
What's up to the chat? Shout out to everyone in the chat who follows, watch the show. Y'all hit the like for me and my man right now. I really appreciate everyone who tunes in. But man, I don't think a lot of people Skee know. You know how you always be telling them like, man, I'm glad that you had time to come on here. I don't think they really know what I do. So let me tell them real fast. Like, bro, I got a private consulting firm where I deal with selling bets to some of the biggest dudes in Houston and Vegas, and I've been doing that since 2016, right? As you know, Skee, I also got a production company. I make movies. Dirty Third, The Next Generation. You guys go check it out on Tubi and on Amazon. That's my movie. I'm the one that wrote the script for that. One of the producers on it. We got a part 2 and part 3 about to come out now that I'm working on. So I do this because, as Skee said, we so close. That's like my brother. So I love to come on here with his chat group and share my plays and stuff. But I'm fine with just going to the window making my plays. It was a guy in the chat that really ticked me and Skee off. He sent me a screenshot of a user or something, so he's probably a troll user and a bunch of numbers after it. Listen, guys, don't get the line on my plays now, man. We talk out a lot of things on here, and sometimes when we're speaking about these games, we're just giving our opinion. That doesn't mean to go to the window and put your life and death on what we're speaking about. Salute, what's up, Big Daddy? Appreciate you, man. We're not telling you to take every game. When it's an official, we're going to say it's an official play and you guys will know it. But this guy tried to pretend as if I was 4-10. And I'm like, wait a second. Last week we went 3-0 with Boise State plus 21.5, Duke plus 2.5, Chargers minus 3. Before that, we won with Clemson first half plus 7, Miami money line. We won with the Texans money line, who I gave out way long time ago. Chiefs first half money line, Chiefs for the game money line, Chiefs minus 3. So I don't let it get under my skin. I just wanted you guys to know that sometimes me and Skee are talking out stuff. My time is precious, man. I enjoy spending time with you guys and coming on here to talk. But like, man, don't think that I owe you anything. You guys ain't sending me no tips. Nobody's giving me no money. Nobody's doing nothing for me in this chat. I'm just coming to show up because my brother Skee. You know what I'm saying? And to show love to the people who mess with Skee and who rock with Skee. Positive vibes and making money. So user, you're a user, and we don't mess with that, bro. So if you don't like my plays, just don't play them, bro. But don't get on that line and try to say I done gave out 4 winners, and everybody in this chat know that we done gave out 3 winners just last week and have been giving out more besides that. But we're gonna stay on the positive vibes. I just had to address that real quick, Skee, because people don't, they just watch the show and I guess they think we get paid millions for coming on here just talking or something.
I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me. It helps me out. I know it helps people in the chat out, and you see people in the chat saying they appreciate what you're doing as well. So we got a few games we can talk out today. I know we have a couple in the college world. Let's see if we can get to those first. One of them is tonight, actually. So
yes, sir.
I'll be able to watch that and have some action tonight. That looks like 107, 108. UNLV in Kansas opened up Kansas minus 8.5. It looks like 9 is the consensus right now. Total hasn't really moved. It's sitting at 57. You know where we at right now. You going with the squad out here, or are you going with Kansas?
You know I'm rocking with UNLV. I got to. They've been really impressive. We talked about that last night when me, you, and Jay Money was hanging out. I told you we're gonna just ride the momentum of the pure phantom. We're gonna sit in our little spot, our little duck, and we're gonna just let all the real Vegas fans, you guys, make sure you're deep in the sports books tonight rooting, because we're on UNLV +9. Barry Odom is a really good coach. Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate that. Barry Odom, he came from Missouri. He was the head coach there, defensive coordinator at Arkansas. Now he's taking the UNLV game up a whole nother level, man. He's really got those guys playing physical and fast. They got 2 really good players, too, over there, Skee, that could play for anyone. And that's going to be De Jesus. He's a little slot receiver, like 5'7". He's quick as hell. I love to see what, like, the Patriots system could do with him. And then they got Ricky White. Ricky White is a baller. Ricky White might end up being a wide receiver number 2 for an NFL team in the future, man. He can really play. National game. UNLV is going to be really hyped to show that they're the real deal. I saw Kansas. I liked Kansas better when Jason Bean's the quarterback, and he was like kind of like the backup, kind of like they switched him out last year. But Jalen Daniels, great athlete, not too much of a thrower. As we saw last week, him throwing 3 interceptions against Illinois. I think that UNLV can slow him down. The most impressive thing for me was UNLV going to my Houston Cougars and taking them to the woodshed. I mean, they handled them on both sides of the ball. They looked a lot stronger than them. They looked quicker. They looked faster. They looked more aggressive. And then the next week, what happens? I'm down on Houston thinking like, man, we fell off this year. The new coach doesn't know what he's doing. They go to Oklahoma, took Oklahoma all the way to the end of the game, could have won the game straight up. I didn't have any action on it, but it just pretty much just, told me what I thought. UNLV is a pretty good team, man. I think 9 points is too much, man. And they're going to be all on Kansas, but we're going to be all on UNLV. They also have a revenge factor right here too, Skee. In the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Kansas beat UNLV this past fall. So we got past winter. So we got something else to like the Rebels with the revenge factor. So let's go with the Rebels +9.
All right, I do see they lost to them 49-36. That's that guaranteed rate bowl. And you say you think it's too many points. I see Kansas 1-4 ATS as favorites of 9 or more points. And I also see UNLV. They've covered their last 7 road games and 9 of their last 10. So it's a spot for the Rebels to keep it close tonight.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna go. That's an official play, guys. So you guys don't get it confused. I'm definitely playing UNLV +9.
Silver Slide showing you some love says, appreciate you 5-star. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to drop some knowledge.
It's love, man. Hey, man, I already know if y'all rocking with Skee, 99% of you are gonna be really positive, good dudes, because that's the type of guy Skee is, man. And I know he's like me. We kind of zero resistance. Like that's why I made him so close, because he smiles and he's nice. You think he's nice, but really Skee is no tolerance, man. He don't play. So that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna be in here with all the players, man. Positive vibes only, man. Let's get this money. Let's win.
All right, let's move it over to another one. And this I didn't think about it before when you told me, but now I'm thinking about it. This is Old Faithful right here.
Yeah.
Alabama and Wisconsin. I don't have the opening numbers. Oh, here we go. It opened 15.5 favorites. They're just 16, so not much movement. The total did come down from 51.5 to 49. But the reason I say Old Faithful is, it's go back years. I didn't know if it was just because of saving, but first half, Bama still paying.
Oh yeah, we ain't stopping. That's what our moves there. That's one of the go-tos, like the Astros. You know that. Like, hey man, Theo. Now you see, Skee has up the whole game, but guys, don't get it confused. We're going Alabama first half. I think Skee's on that play with me as well. We're gonna go -9 on the first half. Alabama didn't look good in the first half last week against South Florida. Their coach, Kalen DeBoer, is a real perfectionist type of guy, and he cares about the offensive side of the ball. They're going to have some dogs on defense for Alabama. They're going to come out hot. He knows that this is going to be a national game. First time I think that Alabama's ever played at Camp Randall in Wisconsin. I know the kids are going to be jumping around. They're going to be wide up at Wisconsin, but the problem is their football team. Tyler Van Dyke, he's decent, but he doesn't have enough weapons over there to stay with Alabama early. I think that the speed and power of Alabama overwhelms them early. Maybe as the game goes on, Wisconsin gets a jinky turnover or something and kind of keeps it close. We're not going to even mess with the full game. We're going the first half. I think Alabama gets on them early. I expect a big start from Jalen Milroe. So we'll be on Alabama -9 first half is the official play. I lost you, Skee. I can't
My
hear
bad.
you.
I was muted. There we go. But
Okay.
yeah, -9 first half Alabama sounds good. And sounds like 9 is the magic number today. +9 on the other one, -9 the first half on this one. And we'll keep it moving right along because I don't have much to say about the college world. But
Right.
NFL, I do have something to say. Um, Steelers and Broncos. This one opened up -2.5. It's still sitting at 2.5. I think it did move, but it's sitting at 2.5 right now. Total has come down about 4 points to 36.5. I'd probably agree just because that's the kind of team I think that the Steelers are. Most of the time in my eyes, they're going to win with their defense. So I do think it'll be lower scoring. But you coming around to the good old Steelers, huh?
Man, you know I'm a Tomlin truther. For a long time, I've been a Tomlin truther. The thing is I thought Russell Wilson was gonna destroy everything because he's one of those guys like Kirk Cousins. He's already got paid, man. Russell Wilson living the life right now. Skee, you know, look at his wife, man. Come on, you seen her dance before. You know what I'm saying? He's having a ball over there. So Russell Wilson sitting on like 60 million. You know, and married to Sierra, got some kids. You know, they doing their thing. He ain't worried about football right now. So that's who I was worried about. But Justin Fields, on the other hand, is hungry. He wants to prove himself. He still has got a big contract. You know, he's still on his rookie contract. And this guy was one of the top draft picks coming out. I'm sure he thought that he was going to be a star in the NFL. I know I did, the way he played at Ohio State. If you ever watched Justin Fields in college at Ohio State, he didn't even run. I didn't even remember he could run until he got to the NFL. He did that at Georgia because Georgia didn't know how to coach him right. When he was over there at Ohio State, man, he sat in the pocket and threw dimes all game. And he can still do that. He just has to get his confidence back. He has the right organization to help him do that. The Steelers need to just go on and name him the starting quarterback. But I think what Mike Tomlin doing is doing a lot of, little psyche work with him. You know, he made him earn his position as the starter, had him thinking that Russell Wilson was going to be the guy. Now he still hasn't named him the starter. He wants the kid to keep fighting. He's the type of player that works perfect with that Steelers defense because the Steelers defense is going to be lights out regardless. You know they're not giving up anything on the run. The Broncos are going to have to try to run the ball because if they just let Bo Nix drop back every play, they're in some real trouble. Bo Nix is this is a huge game, first home game for him as a rookie. We know what rookies do against Mike Tomlin, not much. The only one I've seen have success is C.J. Stroud, but C.J. Stroud is different. You know, Bo Nix is not a C.J. Stroud, man. I think that this Steelers defense is one of the best in the league. We know if TJ Watt's there, they win. It's simple as that. And he's going to be playing. He's feeling good. He's thinking about winning the Defensive Player of the Year award again. Cam Hayward's there to stop the run. Minka Fitzpatrick on the back end, along with some really good corners that they have now over there. I think that this is going to be a nightmare game for Bo Nix. I've seen Bo Nix before when he's still wet around the ears. His first few games in the SEC, horrible. Blowouts. Throwing the ball to the other team over and over again. First game in Oregon when they played in the Dome against Georgia, blowout, looking horrible, throwing it to the other team. He has nerves problems until he gets, settled down with, being comfortable being the guy and playing professional football. So I think we have a bad showing by him. Even more troubling for the Broncos is that they gave up 146 yards on the ground last week, 4.4 yards per carry. That's just too much, man. I think that the Steelers have a lot of confidence right now. I think that Justin Fields plays one of his better games. Another thing to keep in mind, too, Skee, Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin are good friends. Sean Payton has beaten Mike Tomlin every time he's played him when he's with the Saints. He's 3-0 against him. So expect Mike Tomlin to, try to get some revenge this game. He's going to have a little extra incentive. So this is an official play. Steelers money line.
Damn, I keep doing that. That's my bad, but I agree with you.
You hear
My
that
guy
view?
right
You
here
don't want to
says.
get Shannon Sharp.
My guy says Bo Nix interception -120. Write it down. That's why I was waving the pen because I was writing it down. But
Yes, sir. I like that too.
what do
I
you think
like
is?
that
What do you
Gundam.
think? You think that's more likely than T.J. Watt getting in there and forcing a fumble?
They all let go. It all go, man. I think all let go. Just all let go. I hope we just wait on the Steelers, man. I think the Steelers could do it. I actually think the 2.5 is good as well, but I'm just, how we are under 3-week money line, and we're gonna pay for that insurance.
Top 20 Louisiana says Fields had a turnover-free season opener and completed 17 of 23 attempts for 156, but he didn't target the middle of the field, and 56% of his attempts were for 10 or fewer air yards.
I like
Interesting
that. I
stats.
like that stat. But what we're gonna do, top 20 Louisiana, we're just hoping that the Steelers get to 17 and they win this game. And the reason why that they'll be able to do it is even though Fields isn't really throwing the ball well down the field, he is doing really good on second reaction plays, playing backyard football. If they get to him with the rush and he can get on the outside, he can make something happen with his feet. And he also looks down the field and throws the ball. Also, when he gets outside, and George Pickens is really good. Expect a really big play from George Pickens when Justin Field escapes pressure one of these times and it turns to backyard football. Because what George Pickens does is he always makes a good second move on the DB and then he takes off. He's really fast and he doesn't drop anything. So just need a couple plays from the Steelers, man, to get this done. I don't see the Broncos doing much on offense.
Yeah, I think that Steelers will be able to run on the Broncos too. So I think they'll
Yeah.
be able to manage the game enough, and the defense against that rookie quarterback gonna be some problems. So I tend to agree with you here. I want to ask you about a game if you got a couple minutes.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I was about to say. Guys, those are my official plays. Now we're just going to talk it out. So whatever Skee's asking me, I'm giving my opinion on it. If it's official, I'll let you know.
Yep. I think we was talking about this yesterday, but I also was having a few tequilas, so I don't know how far we got into it. But
Pineapples and tequilas.
yeah, I I like the Chiefs. The more I'm thinking about this game, and my thought is, I mean, I might have said it to you yesterday. But I don't know. Like the Bengals, are they just relying on disgruntled Jamar Chase to get the job done? Because Higgins don't look like he gonna play. We know they lost Boyd last year. We was talking. I know we were talking about Mixon is gone. Um, like what are we really relying on? Joe Burrow has looked bad the past year and a half. For as much as I've liked Joe Burrow, I can't deny he's looked bad. So against Kansas City, who's been pretty consistent, and they look like they're better right now. I think Kansas City can win by double digits. What you think?
You know what? I'm staying away from this game because either way it goes, I'm gonna be pissed off at myself. You know what I mean? Because when I first saw the game, initially I said, you know, I like Lou Anamuru, who's the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati, especially matching up against Mahomes. For some reason, he gives Mahomes a lot of problems. Mike Hilton is a gadget that he used really good against Mahomes. Mahomes doesn't ever know if this guy is blitzing from the slot, going to hold Travis Kelce, but also in the past, Mahomes hasn't had in the last couple matchups a really good receiver like he does now with Rashee Rice. I think Rashee Rice is ready to move up to be one of those Pro Bowl type of receivers. Since the NFL gave him a reprieve, he didn't get into trouble. He got a second shot, and I think that he's going to use the best of it because he's a really talented player. So I keep that in mind because I know that the Bengals play really well against the Chiefs. I know they're fired up. I also heard that Jamar Chase was speaking, saying that the Bengals still the team
Yeah,
to beat. We know how he is. He kind of like a wrestler. He just to say whatever sometimes, and
and
he
and the
probably
corner
smoked one.
it
He
was a
probably
cornerback
smoked one.
talking too. He said all Xavier Worthy could do is he just speed and he just runs straight. That's what he said. That's all Xavier Worthy could do.
Yeah, so they're gonna have some stuff to back up. And so this morning on ESPN 97.5, Lance Zierlein from the NFL Network, that's his radio show. I do that every Friday early in the morning, like 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And he asked me about this game as well. And I was telling him I kind of like the Bengals because of the past history, but then John Granada, who's the host of the show as well, made a great point, kind of like you. He was like, man, the Bengals don't look good. They're gonna throw it to him. Then he made an even better point. Is Burrow healthy? And I thought about him trying to pick up that Gatorade bottle. Now, we're about to see this week if he was doing that as an excuse because he was sucking that day against the Patriots. It was just like, now I'm about to, make an excuse, pick up this bottle, act like it's hurting my hand, or was it real? Because if you can't pick up and grip a Gatorade bottle, how the hell you going to grip a football? So we'll see, man. The Bengals tend to start slow in the year. So Zach Taylor's done it over the years. So they got him early this year. It's a stay away from me all the way because I can see both sides. Spread is more on the Bengals side. But Sino, he was with you. He said that the Chiefs going to blow him out. He said it's not going to be a close game. So he thinks that, like you, that the Cincinnati just doesn't have enough offensively. And he says that Jamar Chase is upset. He's pretending like it's cool, but he's mad he hasn't got paid. And I can see that too because we know Chase loves his money. So it's a stay away from me, but I would not, at all be surprised if you're on the right side with the Chiefs landing a 5.5.
All right. One more game I wanted to ask you about. And
Okay.
I know I'm curious what you got to say about this one for sure.
Okay.
Jets and Titans. Um Jets open -4, they're now -3.5. The thing I was saying, I said it earlier to Rob, I'll say it again to you. The Titans, they could be in a spot where they're hungry, after blowing a double digit lead in that last game. Like they had the game won and gave it away type. So now they fired up and got to come and play a full 60 minutes. But at the same time, can we trust Will Levis? Then on
You
the
took
flip
the
side,
words out of my mouth.
I gotta ask you this on the flip side though. Jets didn't look good. Yes, they played a really good San Fran team, but I mean, that's the first game, and he didn't even play a full game there. Rodgers, does he still need more time to get back into a rhythm? I know this team is expected to be a whole lot better than the Titans. You think they're gonna show it in this game?
I like the Jets on this game. I'm not. It's not an official play that I'm giving out. I'll probably play it on Sunday. The closer it gets to the game. But I am. I like to break down these games. First of all, we go to injuries. Everyone looks like it's pretty healthy. No major people missing on either side of the team, really. Besides Hopkins, I don't think Hopkins not playing again, right?
He is.
Nook playing.
Yeah, he playing.
Okay, so that's big for the Titans because he's one of those guys. Will Levis could just throw it up. He could just throw it up for him and he'll make something happen to save him. I just don't like Will Levis against that defense, man. And the Jets didn't look good last year. You see what top 20 Louisiana said right there about his completion percentage. He's not an accurate player, and you're dealing with a Jets team that's going to be a little angry coming off how they got manhandled against the 49ers defensively. Because what Robert Saleh hangs his hat on is defense. Like they have to do that. And Aaron Rodgers is a proud dude, and he hit him with the relax this week. And remember last time what happened when he hit him with the relax. So I don't. Their offense looks decent. They were playing the 49ers defense, who's lights out. You don't think Brees Hall can run on the Titans? You don't think Rodgers can complete some passes to those receivers? So I don't know, man. On this one, I would definitely lean the veteran and Rodgers. I like the coaching staff better. We got a rookie coach over there with the Titans, as you saw last week. He had the offense with his side of the ball looking decent, but how are their special teams looking against the Bears? They looked horrible. This is his first year coaching. He's still trying to figure out how he's going to run things and what's going to be his go-to. Whereas, and I know the Jets, what their go-to is. It's going to be defense, and then it's going to be trusting Aaron Rodgers just to get up there and audible because you can't trust Nate Hackett. You think Aaron Rodgers is listening to Nate Hackett's plays when he calls them? They're just buddies. So he acts like, he probably works out with them in practice and goes through the drills with them and stuff. But during the game, A-Rod's not running anything that Hackett's calling. He knows some BS. So I think that A-Rod takes over this game, puts the Jets on his back, and I think that they do win this game. I'm just not impressed with the Titans as a whole, especially when you got Will Levis as the quarterback.
I'll tell you what I am impressed with for the Titans. Their defense they did play the Bears, but they look solid. I think they have a good secondary. They got Sneed, right? And then don't they
Yeah,
got one other corner?
yeah, they
One
got
other
a good
good
second.
corner too?
Yeah.
So I think that's they match up well as where one of them can have Wilson. And I don't know much about the run defense for the Titans though. I'm not sure how good they are. So if they're
Keep an
not
eye
up to
on
par,
Lazard, guys. Play the Lazard, Skee. That's my best play on that. Alan Lazard, I got him last week. He got a touchdown. I got plus 550 on him for a touchdown. People are forgetting. They're thinking about the picking orders. Mike Williams is going to be the second receiver at New York. Maybe Will later on down the road, but Aaron Rodgers is one of those guys who feels comfortable with his guys. Alan Lazard went up there with him. He's going to do some numbers, bro. Like Aaron Rodgers is going to throw him the ball because he trusts him to be where he needs to be. His receptions is only like over 2.5. I think he gets more than that. I think he catches at least 3 or 4 balls, and he might get back in the end zone again. I'm sure it's probably like plus 300 or something now because last week they're not going to give away that 550 again because they see how Aaron Rodgers was looking towards him. So I doubt his to score a touchdown is that high this week. Let me see what it is. I do like him to go over, Alan Lazard to go over on his receptions. And to score a touchdown this week is going to be, let's see, plus 360. So we're down to 360. It's worth a shot, guys. It's good value on that because Alan Lazard is one of those guys that A-Rod really trusts. And once again, remember, he left Green Bay just to come be with him in New York. So he's going to catch some balls.
I think that's a good call. I think I'm gonna think about this game a little bit. I was trying to get there with the Jets too, but I might need a little more time. I feel more confident on the Kansas City
We could
play.
talk some more games out. It's just not going to be official plays. We want to talk about the Bears and Texans
Yeah,
game.
we could talk about that one. Let me see. I think I got one. Here
What
we
you think
go.
about it?
Bears and Texans. Well, this one open. It says 3.5 for the Texans. It's all the way up to 6.5, and the total came down 1 point. I think that Caleb Williams is probably it is better than what he showed in that last game, but it's still gonna be tough. This Texans defense is good too, and my thought is Texans still want to establish and show everybody like we're that team right now. Like I don't feel like last week's win was enough. I know it's a tough division game, et cetera, but I think this is a game where they really could flex and just run it up on the Bears and just let everybody know like we the team to beat. I think that they can cover, and the total I probably would think that Texans do a lot of damage and it goes over. What you think?
I said I wasn't giving out any more games, but I'm going to give you guys this one as an official play. I'm that confident in this one. I don't think they can jack me off of this one because I trust the pride of the pride of CJ Stroud. Excuse me. The offense for the Bears is horrible. They were last ranked in the league in the first week. They had the least amount of yards, the least yards per play, only 2.9. I don't see that changing much. They had the least amount of passing yards, the least yards per completion, uh, yards per attempt, all of that. They're not looking good on offense. Caleb Williams is in for a nightmare game on Sunday night. Houston Stadium is going to be rocking. Everybody's hyped for this team. It's one of the best home field advantages in the NFL when they're winning. And CJ Stroud, remember, he supposedly had an off game last week. So I think he's going to be looking him and Tank Dell to go crazy because Tank Dell didn't catch a lot of balls. CJ, he threw for like 230 or something like that and a couple touchdowns, but for some reason, they're saying that it was just a all right game for him. They lead the league in rushing yards. I expect another big game from Joe Mixon. And the Bears really had a lucky performance last week, man. They got a lot of stuff that we cannot put in a handicap. There's turnovers and special teams. You can't, cap those things. I just think they jump on them early, and I think that they're going to make Caleb Williams have to throw the ball, and it's not going to work out well for him. I believe by the fourth quarter, kind of like the Miami game yesterday, that Chris Collinsworth and and the guy that caused the game will be talking about like the Houston strip clubs or something because they're going to be just trying to fill in time because I don't think this was going to be close. I think the Texans jump on them early and they stay on them. I like the Texans -6, and that is an official play, but I'm going Texans -6 is what I bet it at.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. I think that they could run it up on Chicago for sure. We got a question in the chat. They said top 20 Louisiana asking if we can talk about the Saints and Cowboys. I don't have a whole lot, but what I'll mention is if I can find it, Saints Cowboys. Or did I not even? Maybe I didn't make a banner. Yeah, I guess I don't have one here. Oh, there we go. I do have one.
Okay.
Saints Cowboys. I'll say I'm unsure how much to put into that beatdown they had over the Panthers, but the Saints just really do they look that good or the Panthers just that bad is the first thing that comes to my mind. I do know that the Saints have I'm pretty sure they have 2 first-round picks on their offensive line and a good offensive line coach. So I think that they should be solid, consistent in that regard. And I think that Carr has a lot to play for. So I'm like I'm wanting to bet on the Saints and like I think their stock is, if you bet on them the next few games, you're gonna be winning money. Cowboys, I think that I'm unsure what to think about them. Tell me what you think.
Well, I'm a Saints fan. Texas and the Saints are my team. The Saints were my team since I was a small boy, growing up in Louisiana with my grandparents. Oilers was my team because my dad from Houston, diehard Oilers fan, and then that team moved. It took me a while to warm up to the Texans. I became a Texas fan. I think when Deshaun Watson came there, and I've been following them and supporting them since. And ended up buying season tickets and stuff when he was the quarterback. I think that this game boils down to both of these teams' defenses. Both of them have really good defenses. I'm not a totals player really, but I would lean on this game. I suggest probably going under 46.5. The last 4 times these teams have matched up, the totals been around the same. They've went under every time. It's been slugfest. My trouble with the Saints is Derek Carr. I can't trust him until I see him against this defense. If he performs well and he isn't afraid against this Cowboys defense, then he's turned the corner. Last week was easy. He's at home. Carolina doesn't have much. Canales is his first game as a head coach. So that's easy. Everything was set up for him to be successful. What does he do now on the road? Cowboys defense is going to be better this year. They have a better DC. Dan Quinn's a good coach. I respect him a lot, but he's not half the defensive coordinator that Mike Zimmer is. Mike Zimmer is the real deal. And you saw that last week with this Cowboys defense. And I just think that the Cowboys defense is going to really be a problem for Derek Carr, man. Parsons has turned into like the quarterback of that defense. And just like he did at Penn State, although he was the middle linebacker primarily there, he didn't rush as much with the Cowboys. Even though he's at the rush end, he's still high IQ and telling these guys what's going on, what's going to happen, what to watch. I see you top 20 Louisiana. What's the week after, though? Go look up right now. Dennis Allen has the worst record against the spread after covering the spread the week before. He's horrible off a win. Horrible. I want to say 5-18. I'm just coming off the dome, but it's something like 5-18 straight up after a win. So I don't trust Dennis Allen, man. I don't trust Derek Carr until they show me something different. I'd lean Cowboys on this one, but I'd like the under probably more than anything.
Fair enough. This is one of the games I didn't feel too strong about. Let me see. I got a question for you on one more game.
Okay.
Seahawks and Patriots. I mean, was that just Cincinnati imploding, or are the Patriots better than everybody thought? And Seahawks, I feel like I like some things I saw from their offense. Can it be duplicated versus the Patriots? I think it can. I think 3 is a short number to lay. Are they trapping me or what?
No, they're not trapping you. The books know that New England has a lot of fans, kind of like the Bears. That's why the Bears are taking a lot of money. Certain organizations that have had past success and they have a group of betting fans, and Boston people love to bet. So when they send that 3, they got that upset last week. They thinking more about New England than what they are, and I think that we see the real New England this week. You know, that wasn't the real New England we saw against Buffalo. They're going to be scrappy on defense because we know that Gerard Mayo is a defensive guy. He came up under Bill Belichick, one of his best pupils, kind of like the Minnesota DC Brian Flores. I think those are his 2 favorite guys, and they both coach defense just like him. You could tell that they were right under his wings and getting all of his, different schematics that he likes to use, and they implement them well. So with that said, it probably goes under like all these games, defensive slugfest and stuff. But I think the Seattle is a much better team than them. I think they got a way more competent offense. I'm a big fan of that running back. I know he's nicked up a little bit, but he's still one of the best running backs, young running backs in the game, Kenneth Walker. So now it boils down to which one of the brothers who playing quarterback, who's been both backups their whole life, turns the ball over the most. That's what it's going to turn out to. The 2 quarterbacks, Jacoby Brissett against what's Seattle's quarterback name? I don't know why I can't remember the guy's name.
Geno Smith.
Just Geno, against Geno Smith. Pardon me, Geno, because I've been following Geno since West Virginia. So Geno Smith now against Jacoby Brissett. Which one of these perennial backups makes the mistake that flips the field? And as long as Geno can protect the ball, he has the better team with Seattle, and they should win. I think that this number is just the books trapping with the Patriots.
All right, fair enough. Last question I'll ask you is who's the dog that you think can win outright if you got to pick one?
College or
whatever you feel most comfortable with. I was talking about NFL just because that's what I know, but whatever you feel most comfortable.
Well, we both would talk. I think, man, you on the same one, so you can kick it off, and I'll just feed in on the NFL, the one we talked about last night.
I only have one play, and it's not a side; it's a total. That's the only thing I've locked in so far.
So, it's what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. So, okay. Well, I go to college then. You know me. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go to college. Then the upset special for me would be UNLV money line. I think UNLV could pull it off tonight. I think they're like plus 300. I actually think they have a better opportunity than Arizona, even though Arizona can definitely win at Kansas State. Kansas State is a really tough environment. Kansas, not so much, and I think they're playing at a neutral field somewhere outside of Kansas, too. It's going to be in Kansas, but it's not their normal field. So I know Lance Leipold is a good coach for Kansas, but I like Barry Odom, man. I think the UNLV is really set up for some success. It just depends on if their quarterback Sluka can complete enough balls. He's a really tough kid, athletic. He kind of a Jim McMahon type of quarterback where he's cocky, talks a lot of noise, not afraid to run over somebody, gets his team all crunk because they like playing with him because he's a guy's guy. But when it comes to dropping back and completing some passes, he kind of struggles. But they got some really good receivers, and if they can figure out a way to complete some passes, I think they're going to be okay against Kansas tonight. So that would be my, money line dog if I had one.
I think they can get the job done. They don't even need the points. But
Hey, bro, it
still
was
take
so
the points
funny.
though.
I'm looking at X at the same time. This is why I know it's a great play. As soon as we were talking about this, some idiot just gave out Kansas money line minus 412 units. Who bets like that?
Hey, the people with the unlimited bankrolls on Twitter.
Man, if they tell you guys to bet minus 400 on anything, don't do it.
Minus 412 units. That means you're betting what?
Oh wow, this a
Four.
Mozzie pick too. This guy that posted that said that. I didn't know Mozzie was doing that. He giving out money
That's like
lines like
48 units, ain't it? At minus
yeah.
400.
I guess he's saying to win 300, bet 1,200, and that's dumb to me. Like I'm not
Oh,
gonna
okay,
risk
okay,
$1,200 to win $300, bro, because very much
okay.
it'll be different if it was like no type of way in hell that UNLV could win. But come on, man, this is Kansas. Like, what are you doing, man?
All right, let's move over to best bets. Is there anything that you would like to promote before we do?
You guys already know the waytheworld.com. I just made them do a revision. They sent me a one example. I did not like it, so they're redoing a revision on that. I'll let you guys know on here when you can go there so you can buy the merch like the cap I got on right now live from Summerlin. Also, just watch the Waging World. We're on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'm always here every Friday with Skee as well. My play, there's a lot. My best bet is going to be my Houston Texans at -6, man. Take the Texans -6. Sit back and enjoy your Sunday. If you took an L that daytime, just double down on the Texans and relax and wait on your money to come through, man. It's going to be Houston Texans -6.
He says Texans kick your feet up and collect at the end of the game.
Yes, sir.
My best bet. Wow, this is tough because I usually have one in my pocket already, so I can just choose, but I don't. I don't like to give y'all one I don't, but I do feel good about a few. So my best bet for the show, we will go with I'm going with Kansas City. I'm going with Kansas City. -5.5 is the best number you can get right now. Hey, you know how I think it's gonna go. Everybody's gonna hear. They're gonna talk about Burrows. This ATS as an underdog. Yada yada yada. He don't got none of them weapons out there with him no more. Burrow by himself, and I don't think I got to say too much more about the Chiefs. We're gonna talk Jay Cash. You already know putting the crying faces because uh, this the Debo pick of the week 2. So
Yeah.
Chiefs -5.5. Gonna be my best bet for the show. 5-star. Appreciate you taking the time to rock with me. Let me know if you want to watch the game later or whatever. And
Oh, yeah. I'm pulling up. You already know what we're going to do. Running
all right.
Rebs. Let's go.
All right. I'll get with you. And you guys in the chat, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.